all across the planet are looking to make connections with people. Well, guess what? Divine Connections magazine is helping businesses not only walk in their purpose and passions, but to get connected to their potential. That's right. You've got to connect to your potential, and you can make it happen now because it is time to know your worth. As you get connected to people all across the planet, Divine Connections magazine will make it happen. And get featured in the magazine today and get your copy now, because there's no other time than a divine time to get connected to Divine Connections magazine.
Do you need a radiant style? Come and see Delphine at Radiance African Hair Braiding Shop at 410 Four Seasons Boulevard at Four Seasons Mall on the second floor in Greensboro, North Carolina. We design creative styles of braiding, crochet, sew-ins, wedding styles, and so much more. Appointments and walk-ins are welcome. We also have a salon booth for rent. We are open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Contact Delphine today, 336-210-3102.
Hello and welcome to the fabulous world of Dream Builders Realty, where we are fulfilling dreams and lifestyles. My name is Trish Adams and I'm the owner-operator, and I have a fabulous team here to help you with your real estate needs. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, we're here to help you. If you need questions on down payment assistance, if you have credit that's not so great but you need some help with that, we're here. We are your go-to people. So please feel free to reach out and we can help you with any of those needs. And you can contact any of our fabulous agents at 336-770-2712.
Dream Builders!
Great day, everyone. This is Dolores Williams with Divine Connections Magazine. It is a magazine that's faith-based and inspirational, and we are here to make it happen and spread your good news. It comes out quarterly in print as well as online. So if you're interested and you want more people to find out about the business or the ministry that you do, feel free to email me and we will talk about you being featured in Divine Connections Magazine. Awesome. How do you stay connected with us? You subscribe to our email, which is at divineconnectionsmagazine.com. You subscribe there to get updates and news. Then on Facebook, there is Divine Connections Marketing. Make sure you like that page. And then also on Instagram at Divine Connections, one word. And then we are also on a YouTube at The Divine Connections. Okay. The Divine Connections. Make sure you subscribe as well as click that notification button. Again, the magazine comes out every quarter. So if you want a current copy of the magazine, go to divineconnectionsmagazine.com/subscriptions. Next on the agenda, lock your calendar on Saturday, September 11th in Fall River, North Carolina. It's going to be Divine Connections 11th Magazine Anniversary Expo. So excited that it's coming again, and we're going to celebrate together. There are various ministries, choirs, praise dance mimes, vendors, food trucks. We're going to have a fashion show. So we're going to do all of that Saturday, September 11th. All right. So I'm looking for vendors. I have about 8 more spots for a vendor. If you would like to be a vendor for that event, please hit me up at 336-338-8903. Text me and let me know what you do. I already have paparazzi, so I don't need that. But if you have anything else that's creative and you would like for people to network with you, please do so. Next on the agenda, is if you need a 30-second or 60-second video commercial, we can do that for your business, your ministry, your book, your gospel group, anything that you're doing positive, or anything that you're doing for the community. We will love to serve you and give you a cutting edge video just for that. Also on Wednesdays, of course, you see our interviews. Before and after our interviews, we have sponsorship spots. So if you would like to be a sponsor, and that is 30-second spot on Wednesdays, either before or after the interview, and then after that it'll be running for 3 months. So we want to help get your news, your business, your information out there. You have a message that we will love to share with the world. And so next on the agenda is go ahead and get your tickets. Look, the website is already ready for you. You can go to divineconnectionsmagazine.com/events for that event that I'm having Saturday, September 11th in Hall River, North Carolina. Get your ticket before it's sold out. It's going to be phenomenal this year. Everybody's ready to get out. We had to go through a pandemic, but yet the Lord has allowed us to still be here and make it happen. So come on out and celebrate with us. All right. And then last but not least, voting is going on. So we had 277 people that were nominated from all over the world, and now voting is going on. So August 1st is our last day. That is, we can vote. You can vote unlimited. You have to vote in every category to make your vote count. But we have over 277 people, and then 26 categories. So make sure you go out and vote, and that ends August 1st. Okay, so that is Divine Connection news for today. Make sure you like and share. And today, I promise you, if you listen to some information that we're going to have today, you will be enlightened. We gonna have a Dr. Patricia Chris in the house. I'm so excited. I met her a while back, and she's gonna share with you some information. I promise you that's gonna lift your eyebrows, but also put a smile on your face, because we know that as long as we are on this earth, that your body can. If giving the right things to your body can heal itself. So we're gonna dab into that a lot today. So welcome, Miss Patricia Chris. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. So introduce yourself to the audience. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself and where you're from, and then we're going to dive right on in.
Okay. I am a classical naturopath, meaning that I do all natural healing. Healing is mental, physical, spiritual, and energetic. All disease, every organ in the body has an emotional root. Nothing can manifest on this physical plane without it coming from a thought. So if someone comes to me with a disease, I'm going to look at the body can heal itself, but I'm going to look at what caused it in the first place. All disease has an emotional root. Nothing can manifest on this physical plane without it coming from a thought. So I work on everything, the mental, the physical, the spiritual, the energetic. And I am not against allopathic medicine. There are things they can do, I can't. There are things I can do, they can't. I'm looking forward to the day in this country when our two fields come together, and then we'll have an effective healthcare system. And that's what I do. I work with children, I work with adults, I work with everyone and anything, and all kinds of ways.
Awesome. So let's dive in. Make sure you guys like and share this broadcast. I promise you're going to be enlightened today with some phenomenal information. So let's start with the body can heal itself if it's given the right information. Right. Or the right resources for the body. So we know a lot of individuals suffer with stroke or heart attack. So let's kind of start there, and then we can go from there.
So first of all, diet is huge, because 96% of all disease can be eliminated simply through diet. And what many people think is
say that one more time, because I know you're going to be talking fast, but say that one more time.
96% of all disease can be eliminated simply through diet.
Wow, that's powerful right there.
Yes.
Right there. Okay, continue.
And then what some people think is healthy actually isn't healthy. So that's another thing. And many people don't look at packaging. So if you buy something, turn it over and read the ingredient.
Mm-hmm.
Because by law, the FDA allows anything in a package or container, if it could say organic, as long as one item in it is organic.
Right.
And then in 2017, the grain farmers, the FDA allowed grain farmers to put arsenic in the grains. And Consumer Reports did a phenomenal expose. So if you are eating grains in this country that are not organic, then you are getting arsenic. And they listed, and the FDA allows companies to label things gluten-free and still have a percentage of gluten in it. So I always suggest to my clients, if they are gluten intolerant, go to the company's website, and they're going to say one or two things. They're either going to say we are totally gluten-free, or it's going to say we have the amount of gluten allowed by law. So it's a matter of knowing the laws. And you go to the FDA and Google the laws. They're right there, and you can do that. But diet is huge. But it's also more challenging to eat healthy in this country. Other countries, my clients will say, oh, I'm traveling. I'm like, where are you going? Oh, don't worry about it. They've got food there that's healthier than here. So it's a matter of being aware. And now with COVID and the pandemic, a lot of companies are limiting what they're making and et cetera and whatever. But it is very important to turn the label over and read it. Words that end in ASC and OSC are usually sugars. 1 tablespoon of sugar decreases the immune system in an adult 50% for 3 to 5 hours.
Wow.
All alcohol, all starch, all carbs, all sugar, honey, agave, maple syrup, lactose, fructose, etc., and all fruit break down to sugar. Even the federal government in 2017 said that sugar is one of the main causes of cancer in this country, but they didn't eliminate sugar or decrease sugar. And high fructose corn syrup is made in a laboratory. It has mercury in it, and mercury goes straight to the brain, and it has 2 additives to make people crave sugar. They put it in because it's cheap and to sell products. But right now, 85 to 90% of the population of this country has a super candida that's been out for about 10 years. The government was not the government, the medical field was starting to bring it to the public in December of 2019, and then COVID hit, so they're not talking about it. But one of my clients just sent me an email the other day talking about, she said, you've been telling us this for years. The CDC and the FDA are talking about people dying from this super candida. And this candida comes from anyone that takes a steroid, anyone that takes an antibiotic, or if sugar is 30% or more of your diet. And I get a lot of vegans and vegetarians with candida because they bulk up on fruits and legumes. Legumes are not a complete protein. They're a protein starch. So half breaks down to amino acid and half breaks down to sugar.
Wow.
And peanuts and pistachios are not nuts. They are legumes. So they're half sugar.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because they tell you to eat nuts, and I got a whole bag of pistachios. Oh,
yep.
My goodness.
And then even like vinegar, even apple cider vinegar. If you have this candida, apple cider vinegar, even the mother tincture feeds it. So there's a lot of things that you cannot, and it makes people crave all the foods that it needs to survive. But I tell people, in this day and age, what the body is exposed to now was not exposed to 20, 30 years ago. So a lot of things that used to work 20, 30 years ago are not going to work today because of all the things that are in the foods, the radiation, and all of these things are affecting the body. And that also is affecting health.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So now let's shift to technology. Oh, you told us some things that I did not want to hear. So let's talk about this radiation and this technology and not having the phone with you like I do every night beside you in the bed. Go ahead.
So radiation, it's necessary now, and now you can actually Google this, but I've been telling people for years, Steve Jobs, his children never had an iPhone nor an iPad because he knew what it did to the body. He made money off of it, but he wouldn't allow his children to be damaged by it. There are categories of disease that are come from radiation. I had a client when she first started coming to me, she couldn't even sit in front of my computer. I would have let her run this, I would run the scan, then she would have to go in the other room because she literally could not be around radiation. But radiation, when it enters the body, well, okay, let me go back. It started in 2013 to 2015, the medical doctors in this country diagnosed 5 million additional people with thyroid problems in this country. And they said, wow, we don't have a thyroid epidemic. Where is this coming from? So once they did the research, they found out that radiation, when it enters the body, it goes to the thyroid and the brain first. Both control how people think. Everyone can see that insanity is increasing worldwide, and this is even before Trump was in office. And this is coming from the radiation. So that's what they found. Then in 2018, they started looking at the liver and the kidneys. But now the thyroid is a gland. It's the only gland. If it is removed, a person must be on a pharmaceutical drug or something natural the rest of their lives, because it controls so much in the body, and radiation goes there first. So now you see a lot of people, they read and they don't see it. They listen and they don't hear. And a lot of this is coming from radiation. And then when we had the lockdown, you have children at home learning virtually, lots of radiation. You have parents at home working, lots of radiation. And it's just affecting the mental health level is skyrocketing in this country. Part of it is because of the lockdown, but the other part is because of radiation. And with the 5G, on my scan, there's 8 categories of radiation, and EMF is at the top, and that includes all categories. Up until 3 years ago, the only time I would see that orange or purple, which are the highest that it can show, is if someone had an x-ray. Then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, you had an x-ray? No. So then I started doing research. Here in North Carolina, Duke Energy uses smart meters, and they use 5G. And people that have smart meters on their homes, it shows up in my scan as EMF, orange or purple. And many people don't know in this state, we had advocates advocate for us. And if you have a licensed medical doctor in North Carolina, all they have to do is write 2 sentences and notarize it, and you can opt out of the Duke smart meter. Otherwise, you have to pay $150 and then $18 a month to opt out. Then I started seeing it, and people are saying, no, they live in an apartment, they haven't had an x-ray. Well, then it came up with the 5G phones. So now people with 5G phones, it's showing up as all levels of EMF, orange and purple. So that's basically, having a 5G phone is basically like standing in front of an x-ray machine 24/7. The medical field, the medical researchers and scientists in 2017 tried to measure the amount of radiation done, how much damage to the body by 5G. They couldn't even measure it, even in low doses, because it was that much. So, and there's 6 cities out west that have banned 5G. Wow. I will not personally use 5G. And even on my internet, I use 2G. I have a choice of 2G or 5G. I will still use the 2G. So it's going to be interesting to see what is going to happen with the 5G, because, like I said, the medical researchers and scientists are showing the damage that it's affecting. And with children, it's even more, because their brains and their organs are still developing. Yeah. And people can see with the virtual learning. I told my clients that had children, I said, it's impossible for children to learn virtually as well as they can in a classroom. And sure enough, at the end of the year here in North Carolina, 85% of the children in the state of North Carolina failed the end of the year test. And so they're saying, well, we're just going to throw out the test. And I said, okay, that's good for the state, but that's not good for the children. Parents You need to ask your schools, how are they going to make up for the loss of education that your children lost last year during
Right.
virtual? But
Right.
also, there are some things. Now, I've had two of these things for 10 years now. One is a mouse that plugs in, because if you use a cordless mouse, the radiation that allows that cordless mouse to work, once you put your hand on it, it's going directly into your body. Or I never had a cordless mouse, but I used to use my fingers on my laptop. And then my fingers started tingling. That's
Oh, wow.
radiation. And then I still have a landline phone. I always use it on speakerphone at arm's length. My head started hurting. That's radiation. That's what made me start looking at and getting products. So I have a mouse that plugs in, and then I have a grounding mouse pad, and it actually plugs into the wall socket. Um, the earthing, the bottom one, the circular one. So it literally takes the radiation from my laptop down to the ground. And I have another pad, an earthing pad underneath my feet. It took 2 weeks for the tingling to stop. And
Awesome.
I've been using these for 10 years.
Wonderful. And while we're on that, we can go ahead because you have a website that you do have different products that people can use as well if they want some of those items too, right?
Yes, patcrisp.biz. I
Oh, okay.
forgot that one. Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot the online store. I forget about that one.
It's okay. It's okay.
And with the online store, the patchris.biz, it's the EarthCalm is the company. And I really like their products because they're constantly updating their products. So they have products that work on 5G. There are gemstones, shungite, and different things. That's not going to work on 5G. 5G is in a whole different category. So a lot of things that used to work to block 4G and under are not blocking 5G. I also have a home system that I plugged in from EarthCom, and it literally takes the negative frequencies of radiation in the home and turn them into a positive. And I've been using this for about 6 years. And the first time I went up north to work, I'm in the hotel and I'm sitting there watching TV, wide awake till 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, what is going on? And I said, my body is not used to the radiation with the Wi-Fi and all of that because my home is so radiation free. So after that, whenever I travel, I have a product called EMF, and it builds your body's resistance to radiation. So when I travel, I take that because I was also having my clients that were parents and friends and family and my grandchildren using the EMF as well to build their resistance because of all the radiation.
Awesome. 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 All right. So now let's shift a little bit and talk about. I know we had discussed it one time. If someone couldn't sleep at night, and there was a reason why they couldn't sleep at night, that means something was going on with some organs on the inside. So can we tap into that a little bit?
So a couple of things. Where is your cell phone when you are sleeping? Because, and most people, even I used to do it, I used to have my cell phone next to me on my nightstand, plugged in. When it is plugged in and charging, it gives off more radiation, the most radiation. But on your cell phone, the light that comes off of your cell phone, the light on your laptop, computer, tablets, television, and LED light bulbs, that is called blue light. The medical researchers and scientists have linked blue light to type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure. That's one of the reasons that they have increased. It blocks the body from making melatonin. It blocks the body from processing carbs and fats and from resting and repairing itself. It affects the retina in the eye, and it affects the liver, the kidney, the pineal, and DHEA. Now, on the Apple cell phone from the 6 on, they actually have, it's called night shift. Because once people started finding out about the blue light, night shift is their blue light filter. Now on Samsung, from the 7 on, they actually have a blue light filter. I don't know if you can see it.
I can.
And then at the top where it has brightness, it's red at the end, meaning danger. It won't even allow me to put it all the way up to the top. A pop-up comes up. Tap OK to allow the brightness to be raised above safe levels. I have never given it permission because I can sue if I get affected by it. But all the cell phones, that blue light is affecting people's health in all kinds of ways. So at night, your cell phone should be across the room, and especially if it's charging, it should be across the room. And you want to get incandescent lights, light bulbs, or full spectrum light bulbs that are not LED. And do not sleep with your television on because the blue light from that can affect your all of those things. And at night is when the body rests and repairs itself, and it can't do that with radiation.
Awesome. So we were talking about, can you break down? I can't remember exactly what. Can you break down? Like it was, if it's between the time of 1 and 3, it has to do with your heart.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the circadian clock.
Okay.
I know many people have heard about the circadian clock, the circadian rhythm. Every 2 hours during the day, the body works on a specific organ. So if during the day a person gets tired at a certain time, it's telling you that that organ wants help. If there's a time that a person wakes up every night at the same time, it's telling you again that the body is working on that organ. Now, the only exception is 4:30 a.m. If someone wakes up at 4:30 a.m., that is when the body processes sugar. So your body is telling you that you're eating too much sugar and it's waking you up to let you know that. But you can go from, so 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. is the gallbladder, 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. is the liver, 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. are the lungs, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., the large intestine, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., the stomach, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., the pancreas, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., the heart, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., the small intestines, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., the bladder, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., the kidneys, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., the heart, and 9 to 11 is the thyroid.
Wow.
So all of that will tell you anytime you have something going on at the same time during that 2-hour period, it's your body telling you that that organ, there's something going on with that organ.
Wow.
The Creator gave us all these different ways to pay attention and to heal. It's just learning what they are and being able to use them.
Awesome. That is some good information. So you guys, if you're getting up at a certain time, go back and listen to this and find out what's going on and what organ is dealing with in your body. Go ahead.
And another thing, water is very important. The body can go 30 days without food. It cannot go 30 days without water. The cells are water inside and outside. And carbonated water, fizzy, all that kind of stuff is not the healthy water that the body needs. But you take your body weight and divide it by 2. That is the minimum number of ounces you need daily to not be dehydrated. And most people in this country are dehydrated. And so I suggest when people are starting to build, you build up, because once you become dehydrated, the cells forget how to absorb the water. So they need to be taught. You'll hear 8 ounces a day. Well, if someone weighs 100 pounds and someone weighs 600 pounds, you think they need the same amount of water a day? No. You take your body weight and divide it by 2. Then if you exercise, you want to add some more water because you're sweating and exercising and you're losing water. Now, too much water can be just as detrimental as not enough, because if you drink too much water, you can start flushing all the nutrients and enzymes and everything out of your body. But building up, the first week you sip on 4 to 6 ounces an hour, stopping 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. The next week you go to 6 to 8 ounces an hour, sipping, stopping 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. And then the next week you go to 8 to 10 ounces an hour, stopping 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. And usually that's enough for most people. But you want to build up. The old saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. Well, that's what happens. I'll ask people, do you move your bowels every day? Yes. Do you take some? Oh, yes, I take. Well, then they don't move every day. And if you take something every single day, even if it's natural to move your bowels have forgotten how to function properly. So
Wow.
then they would have to be retaught how to function again as well.
Wow. Awesome. So let's tap now into the background or maybe some ideas or the thoughts with Alzheimer's and dementia. Let's talk about those two, the difference between them.
Yeah. Alzheimer's and dementia are interesting because Alzheimer's is basically a memory problem. Dementia, they're losing their mind. People can, and now they can have one or the other or both. But many times people, if they get dementia, they die very quickly. They can live with Alzheimer's 20 years and whatever. But aluminum is one of the major causes of Alzheimer's and dementia. And aluminum foil, aluminum pans, deodorant, that's one. And also gluten. They have found gluten affects the brain. And the medical researchers and scientists, and I keep mentioning them because I've been doing my research with them the past 6-7 years because they're proving everything that I've been talking about and learning and stuff, and they're actually proving it now. But another is sugar is one, it affects the brain, and aluminum and gluten. Those are the three things that I would really suggest people watch and stay away from as much as possible because they are some of the major causes of Alzheimer's and dementia.
Wow.
And you mentioned stroke earlier. Now, stroke and heart attack. A stroke, when someone comes to me and they've had a stroke, usually I get a lot of children bringing their parents and they've had a stroke, or I have had some people come to me directly. A stroke is when a person doesn't know if they want to live or die. And so when I tell them, the first time I had a client and I was talking to the mother and I told her that, and I said, so I want you to think about it. This is your decision. Do you want to stay here? And make the decision because of you, not what your children want, not what your friends want or anyone else. But make the decision. And the daughter was freaking out. And I just put my hand up in front of her and let her calm down. And I told her, I said, and I will support you in whatever decision you make. I will help you live. I will not help you transition, but I will support the fact that that is your right. But what many people don't understand is as people age and they lose finances, get lower, they become more dependent on other people, they may lose use of different things in their body and disease and this, that, and the other. Their friends start dying, so their social life. So then it's like, right. And they have everybody telling them what to do. And why would they want to stay here under those circumstances? So I just let them know this is your choice. And once I've done that, everyone has always said, I want to live. But it's probably one of the first times that someone in a while has even asked them. And then a heart attack is interesting because that's either extreme joy or extreme shock is what causes a heart attack. And all disease has an emotional. Cancer is long-term unforgivingness and or resentment. Everyone that has cancer, I've said that, and they're like, yep. But then you take the organs. So if it's the liver, then that's the seat of anger, frustration, depression. The breast is not nurturing the self. So you have the cancer, and then you take the organ, and blood is about identity. And many people don't have an identity. Their identity is based on their degrees. Their identity is based on their sexual prowess. Their identity is based on their games, their sports and all of that. But no, every single person in the world is a child of the Creator. There is nothing greater than that. We can't be better. We can do better, but we can't be better. And there is a difference, but many people don't know that. They don't know that simply being yourself is enough. What I've been suggesting to parents the past 5 or 6 years, every day, tell your children that you love them and you're proud of them. So when the children are older, I said, they're going to ask you, why are you proud of me? Because mommy, I got an A on my test. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Daddy, I made the track team. Oh, I'm so proud of you. What that does is it teaches people that they have to do children, and what children learn, they take into their adulthood, that they have to do something special for someone to be proud of them. They don't know that they are enough simply being themselves. But just 2 sentences every day. I love you and I'm proud of you. And that's enough to teach a child that they're enough simply being themselves, because that is the truth. We are all spiritual beings in a physical body, and that is enough.
Yeah. So let me go back a little bit for the stroke. Say like it was damage on the right side. You talked a little bit about the female and the male. And then number 2, have you seen a reverse in that? A person that maybe had a stroke, maybe on one side or another, and then going through the process with you, the natural doctor, have you seen healing?
Yes, and I've seen it, yes. Now, the right side of the body is male. The left side of the body is female. So if someone, like a few years back, maybe, well, I've been here 13 years. So I guess it was like 15, 16 years back, I was having this pain in my left hip. So after a while, I said, let me just go and get an x-ray. I was living in New Jersey then. I said, because I might have done something and not knowing. So I took the x-ray and then I came back. He said, well, nothing showed up. He told me I had something. I looked at him. I said, you just told me nothing showed up. Okay. So I went home. The hip is about moving forward. The left side of the body is female. I looked at where I wasn't moving forward as a female, corrected that, and the pain went away.
Wow.
So if the stroke is on the right side and it's a female, then it's something that is dealing with a male. It's just like UTI, and I'm laughing because UTIs and bladder infections, girls, with COVID, there's so many bladder infections and UTIs. Bladder is being pissed off and people not respecting your boundaries, and UTIs are anger at the opposite sex. So with people hunkered down with COVID, there's a lot of UTIs and a lot of bladder infections going on. People tell me, oh, you can read my mind. I said, no, I can read your body.
Wow. That is good. So if the male, if the right side of the male had, is that the same?
Yes, then it means it's something that he's not dealing with. So if it was a male and his right hip, it would mean that he's not moving somewhere as a male in his life, or he's not moving forward with a male in his life. So either way, but anything on the left has to do, whatever the organ is, it has to do with a female, either if the person is a female, with them or with another female. And if it's the right side of the body and it's a male, then it has to do with them. Or if it's a female, then it has to do with the male. Yes.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah, the body tells everything.
That is amazing. Because once you find the root of the problem, then you can figure out,
And the other thing is the body, if the body can communicate and it can flow, then it can heal itself. So the scan I run shows me where all the blockages are. And I look at the blockages, mental, physical, spiritual, and energetic. And then I test to see what that individual needs to unblock the blockages so that the body can do its thing. And everyone's different. Just because something's natural doesn't make it safe, and nothing works the same for everybody. So I always test to see what the body needs. I test all my clothes. I test everything I bring into my house, because everything that you put on or in your body is either going to increase your life force or decrease it. It's just a matter of degree, and nothing is neutral.
Awesome.
Talking about on the body clothing. Okay. 100% cotton, 100% ramie, 100% leather, 100% wool. That's very important.
Mm-hmm.
When you start wearing synthetics, nylon, rayon, etc., that has petroleum in it. The same thing that they put in gasoline, that's in gasoline that goes into your cars. Once a toxin touches your body, it takes 19 to 26 seconds to penetrate the skin and go into the body. And nylon, polyester, rayon clothing, people that wearing that, that goes to the liver immediately. That's the organ that it affects first. 99% of my clothing are 100% cotton, linen, wool. All my shoes are leather. I wanted some stretch jeans. So LL Bean, I bought 2 pairs. They are 96% cotton and 4% spandex.
Mm.
But that's the closest. But everything has an effect on you. Everything.
Yeah.
And every word you speak, every thought you have, the cells in your body are paying attention to and trying to make it happen. So if you don't want something to happen, just say cancel that.
Mm-hmm.
And I am are the 2 most powerful words in the dictionary, because whatever you put after that, the creator is trying to make happen, and we have free will.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't even say I'm tired. Cancel that. I say I'm feeling tired, because it's much easier to change a feeling.
Right.
But words are so powerful. The cells in the body pay attention to every word we speak, every thought we have, and it's trying to make it happen. The brain isn't that smart. The brain doesn't know the difference between what happened to us and what we made up. The cells pay attention to all of this. Affirmations, when people give affirmations is to change your belief system, because the human body can only do what it believes. So you change your belief system with the affirmations, and then you do letters and other work to relieve the trauma from the body. But yeah.
Awesome. So we'll finish up with this. If someone is interested in having a consultation with you, talking with you, or having a session with you, tell them how they can connect with you.
Okay, so you can send me an email at wellness@patcrisp.com, and put your name and phone number in the email, or you can call on my cell phone, which is 609-214-4358. And I answer all calls, all emails, all text messages. If there are emergencies, they get done that day. Sometimes I do get backed up. I'm pretty backed up, but they will be returned within 24 hours. And I work with everyone. I work with all disease. I have a degree in elementary ed, a degree in psych, a degree in soc, my master's in holistic psych, my doctorate in naturopathy, and I'm certified in 9 different healing modalities. So I work on all areas. And I actually went on a journey of healing me. And the creator pushed me into this field because I had a very traumatic childhood, very abusive. And I wanted to work on healing me. And then the creator pushed me into this field, and I was really amazed and have to say thank you, because I didn't know how much I understood the human body. And each person is an individual. And after a 5 or 10 minute talk with people, I can tell them what their life has been like. I got to the point where I stopped judging me. There is no human behavior that I do not understand, and I have no judgment of anyone. I don't condone all behavior, but I understand it and have no judgment.
Yes, ma'am. Awesome. So she gives you a safe place to come. Yeah, and you don't even have to share everything with her. Even you share a little bit. Like she said, she doesn't read your mind, she reads your body. So that by itself is phenomenal. So if a person, you're in North Carolina, correct?
Yes.
If
and I do
not in North Carolina, I was gonna say she can do
now,
virtual.
I do in person, but I also do virtual, and I've been doing virtual for 10 years, 10 or 11 years now. I've got clients all over the world, so virtual is just as effective as in person. And so with COVID, I've even gotten busier, because it is with people with COVID, with the shutdown and stuff. And it's just, and some people that have been in my office, they did virtual. They're like, oh my gosh, it's exactly the same. I said, yes, it is just as effective. And one thing, just to let people know, there's 2 things that are going on during the pandemic that no one's talking about, and I've really been trying to make people aware of it. One is the crime rate. Be very, very careful. There's so many scams. Companies are being hacked. Businesses are being hacked. People are being hacked all over this country. The crime rate, murder rates are increasing all over. And then the second is H. pylori bacteria. Prior to the last 13 months of COVID, well, in August, it'll be 13 months. The only time I ever saw H. pylori is if someone went to Mexico. Right now, 85 to 90% of the population of this country has H. pylori bacteria. I scanned a woman in Africa 4 months ago, and I told her that H. pylori had come up. She called me the next day. She said, I was already excited because she had had some things going on for 3 or 4 years, and the doctors couldn't figure out what it was. I figured out what it was for her, sent her some products, and told her she also had come in contact with H. pylori. She called me the next day. She said, I was already excited. She said, but the next day on the news in her country, they were talking about H. pylori going throughout their country. But 85 to 90% of this country has H. pylori. H. pylori comes from eating food that has come in contact with fecal matter. And so I started, after 2 months, I started doing research. And what I found is we've got all these young kids working in the stores, in food prep, in the food factories. And even when I was a child, I didn't pay attention to the adults. They don't know what they're talking about. And we didn't follow the rules. So that's where I think it's coming from. But a lot of people. And H. pylori can cause stomach cancer. It can cause stomach and duodenal ulcers. It can cause glaucoma. It can cause miscarriages. There's a whole lot of things that it can cause, and mental imbalances. But in the symptoms, acid reflux, gas, bloating, bowel disturbances, dark stools, dizziness, fainting, nausea, lack of appetite. There's a whole lot. As a matter of fact, I can tell when I eat something from a restaurant, if I get gas, I just throw it away because I never have gas. So I just throw it away and stuff. But those are two things that are going around in this country. And I've really been cautioning people to be very aware and careful with them.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you for all of that great information. I can't wait for my session. Tell me all about myself. I can't wait. I'm excited. But thank you so much for coming on. This is Dr. Patricia Chris, you guys, a naturalist doctor. And so if you want to stay connected, we gave you the number, the information, the website. She has great products as well to, cut down radiation and things like that, make your life better. So make sure you guys stay connected. And so thank you for coming on today. I greatly appreciate it. And I will definitely talk to you soon. So just hold tight. Hold tight. This is Dolores Williams with Divine Connections. Make sure you guys stay connected to the number one divine connector, which is Jesus Christ. Have a great day.
Divine Connections Magazine. Get major exposure for your business. Is someone looking for your service? Do you need networking? Are you a gospel artist or a ministry? Do you have a major event that you want to promote? Divine Connections Magazine has the solution for you. We can distribute to residents, businesses, churches, and online. Don't miss this opportunity to expand your marketing locally and around the world. Find out more about us at divineconnectionsmagazine.com. Get your spot in the next issue of Divine Connections Magazine by emailing us for details at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com.
Make sure to like us on Facebook at Divine Connections Marketing. Follow us on Instagram at Divine Connections.
Let's get it started now.